Argofunk Book Review, Argofunk Book Review. This review is commissioned through Patreon. Patreon, please give me your money. Millicent is an 11-year-old genius who skipped 5 grades. She may be smart, but she lacks emotional intelligence and situational awareness. For example, on the last day of school, she asks Tommy to sign her yearbook. He says, "Oh, sure, I'll do it when I finish my sandwich." Everyone laughs as he eats as slowly as possible and runs away when the bell rings. Millie has no idea that the other kids hate her and they've been making fun of her this whole time. Similarly, when Millie takes a college-level poetry class, she meets Debbie. Debbie tricks Millie into doing her homework by giving Millie milkshakes and pretending to be her friend. Maybe I'm a sucker too, because I thought Debbie genuinely liked Millie, at least a little bit. But no, Debbie's boyfriend shows up and he insults Millie by telling her the truth. Debbie disappears after this. The book is written in a diary format, and there are a few plot threads that appear every now and then. Millie tells her backstory of struggling with school and appearing on TV. That was pretty cool, and she actually got kicked out of the school. That was cool too. Dad keeps trying to find a job, but he can't get one because he'd rather stay at home all day and play games. Me too, but you have a daughter who's starting college next year. Maybe you should get a job. Summer turns bad when Mom forces Millie to tutor Stanford Wong. Millie hates Stanford because he's a jerk and a jock, and he doesn't even try to learn anything. He purposely annoys her by doing disgusting things like eating in the library. Mom signs Millie up for volleyball. She's awful at it, but she makes friends with a talkative girl named Emily, who is also a bit of an outcast because she's overweight. This is the first time that Millie has made a friend her own age, and it's partly due to the fact that Emily doesn't know Millie's a genius. They met outside of a school situation. Emily and Millie start to hang out together and visit each other's houses. Millie is nervous, especially when her parents keep making excuses to go inside her room and check in on them. Typical parent move. As it turns out, Emily likes Millie's embarrassing parents, while Millie likes Emily's embarrassing parent, so it's all good. Also, they both read Archie comics and think Archie-Betty is the best relationship. That is true friendship. Grandpa died recently, and Grandma still hasn't adjusted to life without him. She decides she's going to reinvent herself as a feng shui master and travel the world. This is sad because Millie really likes Grandma. Grandma's one of the few people who actually understands her, and she's always filled with wise sayings. Later on, Millie realizes Grandma's wise sayings are taken directly from kung fu movies. Grandmas are tricky like that. Stanford sees Millie with Emily and asks about her. He thinks she's cute. Ew! Then Stanford falls asleep in the middle of reading a book, which is crazy because it's 3 p.m. How is he that tired? Dad lands an important job interview, and he whines at Mom about it, asking, "Do I have to go?" Dad, just because your daughter is a genius, that doesn't give you permission to be way more immature than her. Emily sees Millie with Stanford at the library. Stanford claims he's the tutor, not Millie. Emily and Stanford start flirting all the time, and he pretends to be super smart in order to impress her. It's basically torture for Millie. She has to sit through this. Although she notes that, hey, now he's actually trying to do his homework. Yeah, he's doing it to impress a girl, not because he suddenly cares about English class, but at least now he won't flunk 6th grade. Of course, this is setting up for a liar reveal story. Emily accidentally finds Millie's academic achievement awards, and she realizes Millie has been lying to her about her intelligence this entire time. Emily shows up at the next tutoring session. She chews them out for putting on a show and just laughing at her behind her back. You're the worst friends ever. Stanford glares at Millie for the rest of the week. Volleyball is equally awkward, and Mom starts acting strangely, and Millie assumes she's dying from a tumor. Millie goes to the movies in order to hide from everyone else and her responsibilities. She finds Dad doing the exact same thing. Dad confesses he didn't get the big job after all. He's just been pretending to go to work every day. And wow, did he think Mom wouldn't notice he never gets paid? They go home to find that Mom is also hiding from everyone. She took off work to go eat ice cream at home. Clearly, these family members have a lot in common. Millie apologizes to Emily, although it is difficult for her because she keeps misunderstanding why Emily got mad at her in the first place. Eventually, Emily orders her to say she's sorry. End of sentence. Don't say why you're sorry. That works, and they become friends again. Emily's dad calls and tells her that he's never coming back into her life. Emily's so upset, Millie distracts her by letting Emily give her a makeover. They all go to the town fair, where they have fun going on the roller coaster. A mean boy from Millie's past tries to humiliate her, but Stanford comes to her aid. It seems like a happy ending, as Stanford and Emily make up, Dad gets a real job, and Millie gets an award for being the most improved volleyball player. But sad things happen too. Millie feels lonely because she won't be going to the same school as Stanford and Emily. Grandma leaves town forever, but we are assured she'll be back eventually in order to see her new grandchild. Yes, Mom is pregnant! The end. Post-book follow-up. This book is pretty good. I enjoyed Millie's narration, which strikes a good balance between super genius and socially clueless. I've had similar problems in my life. I've accidentally offended people without knowing it. I've misread other people's moods and said things at the wrong time. Hasn't everyone done that? It's part of growing up and learning. So Millie's experiences felt authentic to me, and I really appreciated that. I also appreciated how she sounded like a real person, rather than sounding like someone who just swallowed a dictionary. And she made some decent jokes too. Sometimes there are jokes at Millie's expense, which I found less amusing, as Millie was unintentionally insulting herself. There's a minor plot thread about a 6-year-old boy named Max who lives down the street. Millie never talks to him. She mostly watches him get scolded by his parents. I could not figure out why these scenes were included in the book. Maybe it's a metaphor or something that I'm missing. There were a handful of scenes that felt metaphorical and thematic, especially towards the end when Grandma leaves forever and Millie does childish things with her father for the first time ever. Overall, I liked the book. The narration was the strongest part. I didn't care much for her family relations, but I liked her relationships with Emily and Stanford. Those were interesting and made up the majority of the book, so that's good. Even if Millicent wasn't a genius, the story would still be interesting. I give Millicent Min Girl Genius a 7 out of 10.